Hey everyone, it's Sue. Let me just pinch this so you guys can see what I'm doing. We are gonna get dinner ready quick. So first thing we're gonna use is our twist and chop. This has a blade that not only goes in the circle, but it also goes up and down. And I added some celery to it, and it's gonna be fast and easy. Then we're gonna add an onion. We are making a turkey tetrazzini Suzy substitute. So I'm gonna be boiling some pasta in just a second. So there is a pulse button, and then there is a on off, and we're just gonna pulse. Look at that, 2 pulses, and my celery is all done. So we are going to just put this in a bowl. Ooh, let me show you the new bowls. I'm so excited. I got a whole set of 16 of these new place settings that Pampered Chef has. They are made in the United States. They're made from the stoneware company that does our stoneware. It is phenomenal. Let me get a little scraper. All right, so my husband's favorite scraper is the mini mix and scrape. We have like 3 of them in the house because there's always one in the dishwasher. So we're gonna put that in there. Then we're gonna go ahead and do our onion. So we'll put the blade back in. Now, when you cut an onion, you want to use a bridge. You want to make your hands like a bridge, and you want to put the knife in between so that you don't cut yourself. And you want to cut from the root to the tip. You don't want to cut it this way. You want to cut it this way. Okay. And typically with onions, I put 1/2 face down, and I run cold water on the other half. It helps so that I don't cry. Or at least we hope so. Woo-wee! This is strong. Yeah, so you guys, if you're watching, you can put some crying emojis here, because that is about what is going to happen. Holy smokes. This is why we put it in the food processor. All right, so I'm just going to chunk it up a little bit so that it'll fit. And when you start a lot of dishes, you usually start with onions and celery, sometimes carrots as well. And again, 2 pulses and we are good to go. Look at this. This is just amazing. Oh, I got two pieces that are a little big. Let me crush those down a little bit. I love this tool because it really just saves so much time. I'm not as fast with a knife as my husband is, so this is my favorite. All right, so that's good. Now, next thing, I don't need a whole onion, so I'm gonna put that there. I have a pan that's heating up. I'm gonna do water. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna flip this over, is we're gonna do Parmesan cheese. So, always buy fresh. You want to buy Parmesan cheese in a block because it is, it tastes better, and you're going to have the, you won't have cellulose. There's, they say it's all natural because it's like sawdust, but that's what keeps your cheeses from sticking to each other. So you definitely want to make sure that you buy fresh. So we are going to put this fresh Parmesan in the blender on the grind setting, and we are going to make Parmesan sprinkles, we'll call it. And I got to check my recipe to see how much I need. So we're just going to go ahead and stick it all in here. Bet you didn't know you could grind your own Parmesan cheese. I also grind my coffee. I grind my peanut butter, all kinds of yummies. Let's see, how much do I need? I need a cup plus 1/2 cup, so 1.5 cups. All right, turn it on. There is a smoothie setting, a sauce setting like Alfredo. There is a marinara. There's a soup setting. There's a self-clean setting. There is a heated puree setting like beet puree. That's really fun to put on your plates. There's grind, and then there's jam setting. It's going to get loud because it's going to go flying. Ready? That's it. We're ready to roll. Let's see if I have, let's see, I got my 1 cup prep bowls over here. let's see if we have 1.5 cups. If not, I got more. Oh yeah, we do. Most excellent. All right. So the next tool we are going to be using once I start sauteing over here is we're going to be putting it in our 9x13 baker. And this, by the way, is being discontinued. So if you have not snagged this off of the Last Chance, First Glance, February Mystery Host Party, you're going to want to grab it. There's a list and some of the items have already sold out. So you're going to want to make sure you don't miss out on those. So let me take this. And we will move you, let's see, come on over to the counter. All right, so our pasta's going. Now, normally turkey tetrazzini is with like spaghetti or fettuccine, but I want to do it with penne because it's just easier to get in your mouth. So something fun and different, and that's what I have in the basement. So let's take the lid off. Now the lid you can turn so that the steam will come out. The lid has holes on one side, so you can do that. Let's see. I have to put a timer on because I can't talk and cook at the same time. All right, so you've probably seen before, I'm gonna have to chunk a piece out, but when we make boil down our chicken and our vegetables and stuff, we make our own stock. So I have chicken stock here that I will put into a large container if I can reach. Short people problems. I do have one of those little stools, you know, little pink stools that you can use, but tippy toes work too. Anybody else have short people problems? Remember that song back in the 80s? Short people got no reason. I was offended back then. I'm not now. The older you get, the less offended you get. It's just like, whatever. Small things coming, good things come in small packages, right? Alright, so, there we go. There goes our chicken broth. Collapsible, if you haven't seen our collapsible microwave cover. It can go like in a drawer. It's nice, it's very flat. I love the handle on it personally. That's my favorite part because when you go to take stuff off, you don't have to have the steam near you. Alright, time cook, 5 minutes should be enough for that. So that's going, let's stir this. I already added a little salt and oil to the pasta, so we're good to go there. I've measured out milk. Now we're going to put a stick of butter. Yes, a whole stick of butter. So we are going to do a stick of butter. Then we're going to saute our onions and our celery. Then we're going to make a roux. So if you guys have not done a roux, that's what you do when you make mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese. So excuse me, you start with the butter and then you add your flour in. And what the flour does is it creates that thickness that you need, and then you add your milk to your roux. The key is you want to heat your milk before you add it. So food for thought on that. You want to make sure that you're heating your milk, and I'll heat my milk in the microwave. So let's see, I don't have mushrooms, so we're not using mushrooms. I'm trying to use up what we have in the house. So then we're going to do 4 cloves of garlic, a half a cup of flour, and milk, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, and then it says frozen peas, but I have mixed vegetables, so we're getting mixed vegetables. That's why I said it's Suzy substitute. Like, it's not exactly per the recipe, as my husband will tell you, and my best friends. So let's get this going. And so we're going to saute the onions and the celery first, and the garlic goes in last. You don't want to put garlic in at the beginning. You're going to lose, you could burn it for starters, but you're going to lose a lot of the benefits of garlic if you cook it too long. So it's more of a finished last couple of minutes before you add your liquids in. So let's just get this melted. Hang on. I'm using one of the old spatulas or scrapers. This is a cranberry colored one, but this is the largest mix and scrape. Let me show you the different sizes. So for the mix and scrapes, we have a really large one. They're all white right now. The small mix and scrape fits inside a mayonnaise jar. So if you're this summer you're making, egg salad, chicken salad, whatever, this is the one you want. And then the small mix and scrape is much smaller, but my husband's favorite. All right. So we got that going. We're going to go ahead and add our celery. Let's grab the onions. What did I do with my onions? Here they are. I'm going to cry. See those crying emojis. I don't know, maybe a little bit more onion. It said one small onion. I just felt like that onion was big. Oh no, that's enough. When I compare it to the celery, it's fine. So running your onion under water helps to dissipate the sulfur that's in onions that makes you cry. So I always try to do that when I'm cooking. So coming out in our spring-summer catalog is our salt and pepper shaker. So this looks like the wine opener that we have. It's very similar. Hi, Cindy. And it has different settings. So depending upon how much salt you want, you just turn this. And so it's one-handed cooking, which is kind of nice. I joke, if you guys have ever seen June Gaffigan, he talks about how when you go out to a restaurant, they always ask you if you want pepper on your salad or Parmesan cheese, and he jokes that it's like the magic wand. So I need to put this on the higher. There we go. All right, so we got that going. Now the old one, you may have the old ones, which are the grind. We still currently sell these until we're sold out. So let's get this rolling. How is our chicken broth? Oh good, I got enough chicken broth here. So that's good. So when we're done sauteing all of this, and putting our vegetables and making our roux and all that, we're going to mix our Parmesan cheese. I am making a turkey tetrazzini Suzy substitute version. I'm adding a couple of different things to it. I'm trying to use up what I have. So we went away this weekend with our kids, and I was making turkey BLTs, but then some of the boys went ice fishing, and then one of my daughter-in-law, I didn't know, but she's on a special food elimination and she can't eat turkey, so I have all kinds of turkey left over. So I was like, what can I do with turkey? So I am just gonna use it and make a turkey tetrazzini casserole. So we have onions and celery in here going. We have homemade breadcrumbs. When I was making homemade bread, when I would get to the crusts, I would put that in my food processor and I would just grind it up and then freeze it. So I have it for topping like mac and cheese or for this dish as well. And we just ground up fresh Parmesan cheese in our cooking blender, which has a grind setting on it. So we're going to be using that as well. All right, here we go. And let's just check our pasta. We don't want to overcook that. All right, that looks pretty good. We have 3 minutes left on the pasta and our veggies are looking good. Let's read the instructions. All right, preheat oven, that's good. We'll do that. 350. Cook a pound of pasta, linguine, spaghetti, whatever, al dente. cube or shred 4 cups of leftover turkey. So I have sliced turkey, which I am going to shred up, break up, dice 1 onion, 4 cloves of garlic, and 2 stalks of celery. Melt a stick of butter in a pan. Heat onions, celery, mushrooms, which we don't have, for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now I'm going to add my crushed garlic, and I'm going to cook for 1 minute. Then we're going to add a little bit more salt and pepper and add the flour and just stir until the flour turns brown. Then we're going to go ahead and add some chicken or turkey broth, and we're going to bring to a boil. And when it starts to thicken, I'm going to slowly add the 3 cups of milk and 1 cup of shredded cheese. Now we're going to be done. So this is looking good. I'll bring the camera over so you guys can see it close up in just a minute. Garlic. I had leftover garlic this weekend too, so let's just use that up. You know what it's like, you always overpack, you go away. The kitchen, oh my gosh, if you guys did not see the pictures, scroll back on my Facebook to see the pictures of the place that we stayed at. Holy smokes. I was so jealous. There's 3 sinks in the kitchen. There are 2 stoves. It was just a huge island. It was beautiful. It is a perfect place to cook. We were watching a home decorating show, and they talked about the guy was building a 7-ass kitchen, and I was like, this is definitely a 7-ass kitchen. Like, we had 6 of us in there, and it was no problem. And it was so great to get away with the kids. Now that they're adults, anytime I can get with my adult kids is precious time. So it's always cold. I want to go away in the summer next time. So some of them were peeled, the garlic. This garlic was, this last clove was not peeled. So you don't need to peel it. You'll notice that turkey tetrazzini, Renee, and if you, oh, I just used garlic. You can't have any, I'm sorry. So with the garlic press, you can scoop out the skin so that you don't have to have your fingers smell. And you don't have to peel your garlic. You can just stick the whole clove in here. Although Renee would turn her nose up to this dish because she does not like garlic, and I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking. How rude, huh? Okay. We gotta stop. We gotta pause for a moment. I'm gonna turn this down to low so I don't burn everything, because I need to drain my pasta. Okay. So, what are we gonna use? We are gonna use the Pampered Chef's large strainer. I love it. See the little happy spoons? So we're going to drain our pasta in here. There we go. So it is el dente. Shut that off. My husband is going to be so surprised that dinner is going to be ready when he gets home. All right, here we go. Now we're going to add our flour back to our roux. Add our flour. We're going to cook the flour with the butter, salt and pepper for just a few minutes till the butter turns the flour brown. And in the meantime, I'm going to cook my stock just a tiny bit more because there's still a frozen clump in the middle. It's probably enough ounces of what I need, but might as well just cook it a little bit more. Alright, so we'll let that sit for a second. Let me see what else we're supposed to do. Salt, pepper, check. Chicken broth. Okay, so that's going to go for 2 minutes. So then we are going to add the milk and then the cheese. So I need to save a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Actually, I'm going to do a cup because I double. I'm so bad. So like when I make mac and cheese, I double the crust, you know, the crumble that you go on top of the bread, and everything. So this is supposed to be 1 cup of breadcrumbs, but I did 2 because it's a whole 9 by 13. You got to fill the whole 9 by 13, right? So I might have to do a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Let's see. Let's use our bowl again. What are you guys making for dinner tonight? Anybody ordering out? Anybody like after that storm? I don't know about you guys, but my sister got 30 inches of snow where she lives, and my niece got 36. Crazy. It was more than the blizzard of 78. It was absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so that's good. 2 cups, 1 cup. Yep, check. And then I need a cup. So I do need to grind a little bit more Parmesan cheese here. Let me go ahead and cut some of this. And we'll put it in the blender. And we'll get that going. You guys can see, for those who missed the cutting and the blending of the Parmesan cheese earlier, let me turn you. Here we go. This is our cooking blender. And you can grind Parmesan cheese in it. Just chunk it. Turn it to the grind setting. I make peanut butter like every 10 days. I did make some cashew butter recently. I just like peanut butter better. I know it's not as good for you, but I just like the flavor of it better. You know, it's not so great for my waistline. Oh, it's bringing my side. There we go. That's the end of the Parmesan cheese. So pour that in there. Perfect. Plenty. Look at that. We got plenty. So I added a cup to the other dish, and we'll add some to this and some to the toppings. Okay, so we have browned our, there we go, we have browned our flour. Now we want to heat our milk up. So we're going to put the milk on half power, not full power. So time cook, we'll say 2 minutes, power level 5. So it'll cook it slower, so that will be good. And now we need how much? 14 ounces of chicken broth. So let's get out a measure-all cup since we have ounces on here. And 14 ounces is basically 2 cups up to the top here in the measure-all cup. So I will go ahead and add that. See if we can do it without making a mess. Maybe, maybe not. Don't tell Renee. Chris comes home, the kitchen's gonna be all clean. It's gonna look like no mess happened. Dinner's gonna be ready. Like all's well. Okay, let's just double check. I have to keep reading the recipe because, you know me, I can't talk and cook at the same time. Okay, so I added the flour. Okay, so now we're going to add the chicken stock and continue to stir until it thickens. And then we're going to add the milk. Okay. So, when you're making mac and cheese, you do a roux, which is the butter, flour, salt, pepper. I usually use a little cayenne pepper for mac and cheese. And then you add your milk, and you warm your milk, and then you add your cheese. So it's kind of the same idea, but we're doing onions and celery as part of our roux, and we're using chicken broth instead of just, you know, milk. The milk will make it creamier. You can use half and half if you want, but again, I'm just trying to get rid of all the leftover groceries from when we went away. I always overpack. I know I do. I bring way too much food, but you know, you never know when you want a snack. I brought my braided rug stuff too, if you guys haven't seen. I am making a braided rug for our property that we're building. We're building a house, or we will be next year, this coming year. And we are going to be, my husband's doing all the work himself. So I am going to make a braided rug out of jeans. So I have been for forever, months, cutting up jeans, stripping old jeans into strips and sewing them together and making rolls out of them, and I've been braiding them. So I have 3 different colors, you know, dark jeans like this, then I have a medium jean, and then I have a light jean. And then I'm using the pattern of the braided rug that I have in my house, which is a 9-foot by 12-foot. And I'm doing 10 rows, and then I'm doing 3 rows of just dark blue. And then I do, I think it's another 10 or 12 rows, and then I do a medium blue, a couple rows of medium blue. So I am taking a class at League of New Hampshire Craftsmen's because I am not so crafty. It's cold in South Carolina, 64. Ooh, that is chilly for you guys. So yeah, so I'm doing this braided rug, and I'm taking a class so that I can learn how to do it. And the cool thing about this class, like I thought, my mother-in-law has braided rugs before, and she does it the old-fashioned way, which is you just start in the middle and then you just keep going and going and going and going. But the problem with that is you can't go anywhere and work on it, right? So the way I'm learning is called the Barbara Fisher method. And what that means is every loop you do is an individual loop. So once I've done the certain number of sets, then I have to mesh those 2 together, and it becomes a complete circle that you can't tell where it began and where it ends. And then you do the next one, and then you lace those 2 together. So it should be pretty interesting. So I have the milk there. Now it's time to add the cheese. Look, right? Double check. Yes, we're going to add the cheese. And then we're going to add the turkey. And then I'm going to add the cheese and the breadcrumbs on top. I'm going to stick it in the baker, and I'm going to bake it for like 35 minutes. So, what do you think? This is Suzy Substitute. My best friend Mary Beth is in Punta Cana at the moment. And if she watches this, she will laugh because her husband and her, when we were newly married, I was supposed to bring something to a potluck at church. And this is long before I became a Pampered Chef consultant. And I was supposed to bring, like, I said I was going to bring, like, tuna noodle casserole. And then I had no tuna, so I had to use canned chicken. And I had no, like, green beans, so I had to substitute. So we called it a Suzy surprise. So they laugh quite a bit at me now because that's kind of my go-to. Like, we'll just substitute whatever we have, and we'll use it up. So this is it. We're making turkey tetrazzini. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of those frozen vegetables. Again, the recipe calls for frozen peas. But I was not going to run out just to buy frozen peas when I had mixed vegetables from the last time I made a chicken pot pie. So I will just use that. I'm really looking forward to this. I like garlic a lot, so it's got a lot of garlic in it. Onions and celery. It's got a cheese sauce. And I love hard cheeses like Parmesan. They don't tend to hurt my stomach, so yum. So I'll let you know how it comes out. And if it's good, I'll post the recipe. I just got it offline and, again, did a few Suzy substitutes here. So let me tell you what's coming out new. At the end of this week, if you guys don't know, there is a last chance first glance party going on. Last chance means I have a ton of products that are being discontinued in this current catalog as of Saturday, February 28th. March 1st, the new catalog comes out and all the new spring products are there. So if you want something like that 9x13 baker or some of the other amazing tools that they no longer are going to carry, you need to get your order in before midnight on the 28th. If you would like to get a sneak peek at all the new products that are coming out, I can do that by giving you the link to the party. And in the party, I'm just started today. I haven't even gotten them all scheduled, but I did schedule day one. I put them together today. Just some images of some of the new things that are coming out. Let me tell you my favorite. I did a video on Super Bowl Sunday of 2 products. One is a sushi roll maker. Now, I don't like sushi, but you can make frushi, with fruit. Or you can make California rolls, which is what I did for me, but we also did crab. And it's so super duper easy. And then there is a snackle box, which is basically our cool and serve discs, our little pucks that are our cool and serve trays. We use that, and it's in the bottom, and then there's all these little compartments so that you can use your fruit, your vegetables, your eggs, protein, whatever it is that you want to use it for. You can do that in it and take it for 4 to 6 hours. So you're going to the beach, you're going to the ocean, you got some kids that are in a sport, you're going for a car ride, all of that. You can use this snackle box and it'll keep the food cold 4 to 6 hours. So it's very nice. There's something that's coming out in April that's a sneaky peek. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a really big appliance that we're getting, and I'm very excited about using it. But I'm not going to tell you yet. You have to go into the party to find out. All right. Al dente. Got all my veggies. There we go. Come on, Suzy. Woo-wee. No spills. Pretty good. I don't have to tell Chris I have to mop the floor or something. You'd be surprised at the mess that this girl can make cooking. Alright, so now we're just going to mix it all in. And then we're going to top it. I think I'm going to add some more salt and pepper. I just don't feel like it has enough. I like salt and pepper, so we will do a little bit more. There we go. That looks good. Add a little salt. You know, the higher up you hold your salt, the more it distributes evenly down onto your food. Just a little tip for all of you. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put our crumb topping. Now, you can use panko breadcrumbs like it says, but I don't have any. So, Suzy Substitute used homemade breadcrumbs from when I was making sourdough bread. I think I need a big bowl to mix it in because you want your breadcrumbs and your Parmesan cheese well mixed so that they melt in the oven. And then we're just going to cook this for 35 minutes in the oven. Gosh, you would think you would need some butter with this. Normally you need butter. I just feel like I need butter. What do you guys think? Butter? Yes? Like when you do breadcrumbs on the top of you know, mac and cheese, you need, yeah, it was deli meat. That's what I had left over, so I was trying to use it up. I would normally use chopped turkey or chopped chicken, but I'm like, I got all this deli meat that I will never eat. I mean, I had a turkey BLT yesterday, and I had a turkey BLT today, and I'm like, how many turkey sandwiches can I have before the turkey is no good? So, all right. There we go. I just had to add butter. Like, I'm sorry. It's not low fat, but if I want the breadcrumbs to get crunchy and crispy, because they're not panko breadcrumbs, I think I needed a little butter to go with the Parmesan cheese. Right? All right, mixy, mixy. All right, that looks good. I'm glad I doubled the breadcrumbs because I don't think a single serving of it would have been enough to cover a whole 9 by 13. To be honest, not a good amount of coating at least. All right, looks good. I'll take a picture when it's all done, when we're eating. You can let me know what you think. Now, if you would like some of the Pampered Chef products that are coming out, I'm going to be on vacation at the beginning of March, but I am booking my parties right now for March 9th. If you would like to do a pop-up online party, they're super fun, super easy. You literally, all you have to do is do the invites. I do the rest, and you can earn free, half price, and 60% off products. So reach out to me, send me a message. I'll tell you all about it, and let me get this in the oven. So dinner will be ready in 35 minutes all. Thanks for watching The Reluctant Chef. Good to see you, Cindy.